First off, I'd like to thank my wife Paige and my son Corbin and Olivia for letting me be a part of a great family. They wanted to be here today to see this, but school didn't allow them to be here, so they'll be here soon. Secondly, I'd obviously like to thank Tom Jerich, our athletic director, Coach Petrino, and really the University of Louisville for allowing me to be a part of, transitioning into the ACC. I think it's a great conference. I'm really excited about the things that I've learned about this place, and look forward to being a part of something special here.
Questions?
I read somewhere on one of the social media. This kind of happened fast. Kind of take us through the last week and how it did happen.
It happened fast. I got a call last week about the opportunity to come here, and of course they're transitioning into the ACC. I'd known about that and the things that were happening. Coach Petrino's one of the best offensive minds in the game, and obviously being that he was in the SEC, knowing his schemes and what he had done, when he called me and started researching the vision of the athletic department and what they had done, when you look at the vision that this athletic department has had for this university and where they're going, that excited me. And really to be a part of Coach Petrino's staff and to team up with him with what he does offensively and what we're going to do defensively, I felt like it was an opportunity that I really just couldn't pass up, and it really got me excited. So looking forward to doing some great things here.
There's been discussion amongst media, local, national, about why would a guy leave the SEC for the ACC. So as a guy that's doing that, what's the thought process behind it?
I'm a pretty good vision guy, I feel like. Part of coaching is a vision. And, the landscape of college football has changed, meaning that the way things are structured now, it's going to be a 4 playoff team system. And the way you get in that playoff is to win a conference championship and a title. And, I'm here, I want to win a title. And like I said, Coach Petrino is as a head coach, he's involved in the offense. And he's a very dynamic play caller, a very dynamic offensive person. And to be able to team up with that was something that I just felt was really too good to pass up. And really it got down to that. It's funny because, 5 years ago, I was with the Dallas Cowboys, and we had just come off winning the NFC East title, won the first playoff game in 10 years, finished number 2 in total defense, and I took a job at the University of Georgia, and people were kind of questioning why I did that, but that was a chance to change an identity, win 2 SEC East titles, kind of get a place back to where it was, change the culture and do those things. And, when this opportunity came up, like I said, I had a vision. And with the landscape of college football is where it's going now, I just felt the vision of the athletic director. He's a guy that is very proactive and stays out in front, gives you all the resources you need. You have a head coach that is one of the best offensively at what he wants to do. And defensively, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to play an aggressive style that's allowed us to get to 2 SEC East titles. And I feel like the combination of all that was something that I really wanted to be a part of. And I'm really excited about, bringing the title here to Louisville.
Can you expand on your defensive philosophy?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we're a 3-4 by personnel, which really allows us to be multiple. We're going to play an aggressive attacking style. I believe in attacking the quarterback, not only physically but mentally. In other words, giving pitchers and taking them away. I think it's critical that you're good against the run. We've been very good against the run over the past few years. And if you do that, you got a chance to get them in those down and distance where they got to throw the ball. And I think that's critical for affecting the quarterback. You want to attack the quarterback and make him make bad plays. So getting down to it, you really want to stop the run and make the quarterback play bad, because the quarterback's a guy that'll turn the ball over. Going into last year, we had 62 turnovers in 2 years, which was second only to LSU in the SEC. And we'll continue to do that because turnovers is what win games. When we were +1 in our turnover ratio, we were winning about 92% of our games. over the last few years. So that's we want to be an aggressive style. We're going to be multiple. We'll play a lot of different players, play tight man coverage, mix it up in the back end with man and zone, but we're still going to be close to guys. And then find ways to bring guys they can't account for, or find ways to get guys matched up one-on-one to where they can pressure the quarterback.
Forcing turnovers are always important, but when you've got an offensive scheme like Bobby does, does it become even more important to get them the ball back?
I think anytime you have an offense like we have, the more opportunities you give them with the ball, the better. So that's something that really excites me. You know, it creates field position for your offense. It gives you more possessions, and it also has a big dramatic effect as far as momentum in the game too. So I think all those things factor in, and certainly it's something that we need to do to be successful.
How big was it to be able to have a family reunion of sorts also, and to be able
It was a factor. You know, Tony's a guy that he knows our system because they played a 3-4 at Navy. He's an excellent coach. He's an extremely hard worker. He's a tireless recruiter. He's a guy that will put in the necessary work needed to win a title. And those are the kind of people we want to be around. And we'll look forward to having a great staff here with the other guys that are here also, and really doing something that can be exciting as we journey into the ACC.
Did you know any of the other guys before you got here, and specifically maybe Coach Hurt, who's been here?
Did not know Coach Hurt. I knew about him, you know, through his reputation as a coach and a recruiter. Of course, you know, T-Buck is a guy that had played in the league for a long time, and if we can get our guys to play as good as he played, we're going to be pretty good. So we're going to allow him to work on that. Been very impressed with all the guys. Been really impressed with our strength and conditioning staff. You know, I got to watch the guys work out yesterday, and really the vision that our strength staff has to get those guys developed and ready for spring practice and keeping them healthy and being able to develop them when they get there, I think is really critical. And just overall, been really pleased with everybody I've met on the staff.
Have you, obviously, just a couple days here, already watched some film? Did you see them at all this past year? Kind of what you think of the talent you have? You've got to replace some key guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of coaching, is replacing guys. I mean, you know, last year we replaced 7 guys that went to the National Football League. It's part of it. Have watched a game or two on TV during the course of the year. Since I've been here, what we've been doing is making cut-ups of each player, more so to kind of give a glimpse of maybe what he can do. And the thing that I see is we have guys that can do multiple things. I'm a guy that really believes in being multiple with your personnel from the standpoint. I don't think you want to pigeonhole players into they can only do this thing. And I think that's critical because of injuries and maybe personnel that you're going to see the course of the game. I think it's important that you're flexible. Been pleased with the guys that I've looked at so far. Encouraged to be able to get, you know, finish up recruiting, get on the spring practice trail, and be able to start working with these guys and developing them and letting them know our system.
How difficult transitions can be difficult, as Bobby said last week. How can you make it easy for the defensive guys?
Well, I think part of coaching is teaching, and we'll try to really give them the concepts in spring, okay? And I'm a big concept guy from a teaching standpoint, and I think that once you learn the concepts of the defense, as you go through the season, it becomes pretty easy. So we're going to introduce the concepts to them. Let them get a taste of everything that we would do from a philosophy standpoint during the spring practice. But the big thing is being able to run to the ball, to be able to tackle, to be able to you know, win the one-on-one matchups, whether it's in pass coverage or pass rush or defeating the block and doing those things. Those are really the critical things that you want to get accomplished with your team as you transition, and really to play hard, because if you do the things we ask and you play hard, your chances of being in every game are pretty good.
When I think of the 3-4, I think of a monster defensive tackle right there in the middle. Do you have that guy? Do you know if you
We have guys here that can do that. Well, obviously, you can be multiple. I mean, we had guys at the University of Georgia that were bigger, as far as, you know, but this year they were actually smaller, and from that standpoint. And when I was in Dallas, we had a guy make the Pro Bowl, Jay Ratliff, and he was 295 pounds. So it can be any of the above. It's a matter of, really, it needs to be a player that can command double teams, that can play with leverage, play with his hands. The size thing can be overrated at times. It really gets into the ability of that player to hold the point and do the things that you ask for him to do. So, you know, I feel like we have players here that can do that. That's not a concern at all. And look forward to teaching those guys as well as the other guys our system and getting after people.
You mentioned recruiting. You lost a couple defensive tackles to seniors graduated this year. How
Right.
important is that position in terms of
Well,
recruiting?
recruiting is real important no matter what you do. Recruiting is the lifeblood of your program, and I think it'll be critical that as we move forward over these next 2 weeks that we continue to make sure that we look at the players that we feel like we need to move into the ACC. And you know, finish off recruiting strong to make sure that we get the pieces that we think we need, you know, for this first year.
Is defensive tackle a priority?
I think anytime that, I think big guys are always critical. You know, I mean, I think that if you can control the front with the run game, it forces you to have the choice of whether you want to drop the safety down or not. So I think anytime you can get big people in your program, it's a good thing.
Do you think it would be easier working with your brother, being able to drop schemes and blitzes and that sort of thing?
Well, I think that the biggest thing there is he's been in the 3-4. He knows the system. He knows the amount of time it takes to put in from a work standpoint. So I think all of those factors are going to be critical in the development of the backers and really the success that we're going to have. And that's really why I wanted to hire him, because I think he can bring that dimension to the University of Louisville and make us what we all want to be.
What do you think led you both into coaching?
Well, you know, first of all, I couldn't play anymore, so I had to So I think the big thing is, from that standpoint, is I enjoy being around young men. I enjoy developing. It's funny, you know, so when you take a new job, people kind of come to the forefront and give you texts and things like that. And of course, a guy like Jarvis Jones hits me up how excited he is. He was a first-round pick, led the country in sacks. And then I also get a text from a guy that is now in coaching at a small 1AA school and has a wife and kids, and just thanking me for what I had done for him, because I'd actually recruited him out of Florida, and he's doing really well. And I text him back, "You've come a long way since that 2 a.m. phone call that you wanted to go home because you were homesick," you know, back in those days. But that's part of coaching is being around people, making a difference in their life. You know, obviously from the coaching standpoint, we want to develop players, and we feel like we're good at that, and we've done a good job, and we'll continue to do that. But you're also working to help those guys get an education and leave the university where they can go out and be a positive role model in society and really support themselves and their family as they move forward. So, and then when you see guys like that, it really makes it all worthwhile.
This program has, the way they've done with recruiting have been so South heavy, you know, Florida heavy, and that your ties and your brother, just talk about how important it is to stay keeping the roots down there with recruiting.
Oh, I think it's extremely important. I think that there's obviously a flow of people from there up here, and I think that there's a huge talent base there. I think we'll continue to recruit the same areas that we have and really develop those relationships with the coaches and the players that we feel like we need to make our program successful. But I think that there's such a bed of talent in the Florida, Georgia area that we'll continue to do that and get the players that we feel are best for the University of Louisville to make us successful.
Are you in the box or on the field?
We're going to wait and see. I'm going to kind of feel that out with the players. I mean, the coaches that we have now. I've been on the field, you know, for my career. Not to say that I couldn't go up in the box. I think that that'll be yet to be determined based upon really how we mesh as a staff.
What appealed to you most about this opportunity?
Well, what appealed to me most was being able to team up with, you know, Coach Petrino and what he does, but also the vision of the athletic director. And if you look at the things that he's done, you know, to win a championship, it takes a lot of different elements. And the first thing it takes is an athletic director that has a vision for the resources needed moving forward. And you obviously have that. Then it takes a head coach that, you know, the head coach has won here before. And we obviously want to win, but win maybe a little bit better than before as we move forward. He's a head coach that's won. He's a head coach that offensively is one of the best in the country at what he does. So to be able to be a part of those things and team up with that feeling from an athletic administration to an offensive-minded head coach that is involved in the game, I just felt like it was a chance to win a title. And like I said, the landscape of college football is changing. And the way it's structured now, you really want to focus on your side of the conference, winning your conference, and then going and competing for the conference championship. And once you do that, you're really trying to get into that 14 playoff. And once you get into 14 playoff, there really is no home field advantage because those games are at the bowl sites, and you're going to play a week after that. And that number of 4 is not going down. Okay, it's 4 now, and it'll continue to increase as we move forward. But the way the landscape is now, in the direction that the University of Louisville's heading with the leaders here, I just felt like it was something I wanted to be a part of.
With his staff, most of the guys we've seen before, and now that he's familiar with them, why do you think he picked you? And did you guys have a connection at all before?
Well, I think it's from playing against us. You know, I think it was from really playing against us and seeing the things that we had done as a conference. Because when you go back and look, you know, 2 of the last 3 years we've won the SEC East. We've played, really have been the backbone of getting to those conference championships. And I think the ability to see how we change that identity and develop some mental toughness and physical toughness there. And develop players. You know, we had 2 first-round picks a couple years ago. I think a combination of all of that, probably seeing the work was really the main thing. And honestly, that was really what drove me here, is seeing the work that he had done on the field with players and the way he had called plays and the success he had had at the stops he had been was something that I felt like, hey, this really excites me. And like I said, with the way the college football landscape's going, I feel like it's a great opportunity to win a title.
Anything else, Coach?